Hi there, my lovelies, this is Jana here. Welcome to my kitchen. So today, a very special recipe for you who is a tomato lover, a tomato sauce lover, and is a little bit sad because the tomato season is over. Don't need to worry anymore. Don't you worry. Be happy because I have a perfect recipe that is going to use a lot of different tomatoes, preserve it into a sauce that is not going to consume the whole day to make it, okay? It's going to be faster because of a secret. A secret that I'm going to share with you. But we're going to make a lot of those. And you're going to love it because this is homemade, so you know exactly what's in there. No chemicals involved. Delicious, balanced. Another secret in the recipe. So follow me and I'll show how to put it together. Since we're going to can the tomatoes, let me show you how I sterilize my jars. First, I wash them with soap and water. Then, once they're clean, I put them in either my oven for 15 minutes. Sometimes I boil them for 15 minutes, but lately I have been just putting them in my dishwasher in the highest temperature for 40 minutes. With the lids, don't forget that, along with all the other equipment that I'm going to use. Then I remove them from the dishwasher, place them in a clean tea towel or two, and allow them to dry completely. And for this tomato sauce, we're going to use simple, everyday, affordable ingredients because it's tomato sauce. So we're going to use onions, a couple of bay leaves, garlic, celery, and carrots for extra taste, nutrition, and especially to offset the tomato acidity, okay? So we're not going to add sugar because the celery and the carrots will provide the sugar we need. That is one of the tricks that I wanted to show you. So instead of the sugar at the end to offset the acidity, the gastrique, as we call it in the kitchen, in the industry. So we are going to use natural ingredients that will provide the sweetness we need, okay? And of course, tomatoes. Not too ripe, not green, definitely not green. Now, what kind of tomatoes? I am using, here in Spain, I'm very fortunate because here in the Canaries, where I live, tomatoes are abundant year-round because of the climate and the soil. So we are lucky we have it year-round. So I chose to buy the cheapest ones because here even the cheapest ones are also very good. But if you have access to better tomatoes, you can do that. They tend to be a little bit more expensive. And my goal here is to make the most affordable recipe and still make it taste amazing, okay? Tomatoes, you choose. You can mix and match, you can vary. You can definitely add cherry tomatoes or you can make it only using cherry tomatoes. I have made a sauce lately, a couple videos ago. Click over here. That it was a 15-minute tomato sauce. And it was amazing, and I used cherry tomatoes, okay? So it doesn't really matter. We're going to make it taste amazing. Oh, I forgot to tell you. This is a tomate frito. It's a Spanish recipe. All the moms here in Spain, they make it. It's adorable, the recipes I have been watching on YouTube. It's so cute and so sweet. And it varies from household to household, and for every region they have its own. They add a lot of different spices, paprika. I wanted to make here the most neutral tomato sauce, so you can add it to a pizza topping because it's ready to put on the pizza, to make a Bloody Mary. Hello, yes. Or spaghetti or a Mexican salsa. I mean, you can choose because it's pretty neutral and yet very delicious. Now, we're going to chop all the vegetables and of course the tomatoes. That's a lot of Bloody Marys, babe.
That's a lot of Bloody Mary.
That's why you're helping, right?
Perhaps we can make some spaghetti too.
And also, Mr. Blue. Blue. Hi, you helping? Nah. Now, don't worry about seeding and skinning them. We'll deal with it later. In a much faster fashion than peeling and seeding each tomato now. Trust me. I have here 6 kilos of tomatoes. Yes, 6 kilos. And each kilo of tomato cost me €1.16, so it's okay. Now to a large pot over medium heat, add olive oil and the diced onions. Now we're going to saute them until golden. You can add a pinch of salt to help the onions to get golden faster. And when it happens, you add the carrots, celery and garlic and saute for about 5 to 7 minutes. Then you add the tomatoes in layers because you need to add the salt, and we're going to add a lot of tomatoes up until the top of your pot. A layer of tomatoes and a layer of salt, a bay leaf and some black pepper. I have decided to use 2 pots here because my big pot I couldn't find the lid, so I divided the tomatoes into 2 pots. Stir a bit. Now cover and allow it to cook for 1 hour. This sauce is supposed to thicken up and reduce by half, okay? So in the medium heat, once in a while you keep an eye on it, you go and stir, you check if it's not sticking to the bottom. Okay, it's not supposed to. It's very liquidy. The tomatoes are going to break down, and the ones that don't break down, do not worry because we're going to deal with them later, like I told you. Now after 1 hour, uncover the pot and we're going to cook the tomatoes for 40 minutes more because we want all this water to evaporate. First we have cooked the tomatoes. They are cooked, okay? You have some tomatoes that are still whole and unbroken. Okay, and then now we want it to thicken up. And we want all this water, or mostly of it, to evaporate. So uncover the pot and cook it for about 40 minutes more. And now that the tomato sauce is cooked through, I'm going to reveal the secret for such faster tomato sauce, and the secret is a food mill. Now, this is very good because it purees things, okay? So, you know the skin and the seeds that I told you not to worry about? We're going to add it here, and all the seeds are going to be, the seeds and skins are going to be stuck here, and we're going to process it, and all the goodness and the pulp from all the vegetables are going to be left, are going to be in the pot. Now, this is a very, very good and very ancient, I think, is as old as the mortar and pestle, I think, if not older. So very popular here in Spain because people use it for a lot of sauces. And I bought this one, cost €6. You have more sophisticated ones, but this one did the job perfectly. And if you want to know where I bought it, I'm going to link down. I bought it on my local supermarket, okay? But I'm going to link a couple, post a couple links down below so you can choose which one you want to buy if you can find it locally, okay? So that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to tell you, I love this thing. I love it. You can make mashed potatoes, mashed anything you want, hummus, whatever, okay? So if you decide to buy it, then, and if you make something with it, let me know. I love your ideas. Now that all the tomatoes are already processed, all the skins and all the seeds can be discarded. Now we're going to use only the pulp, okay? To which we're going to put it back in the stove at medium-low heat, and we're going to cook it because we want it to thicken up a little bit more. We want it to cook it for 30 minutes more. And now that the tomato sauce is cooked through, we're going to transfer the tomato sauce to the jars. Clean the borders here. We're going to fill each jar all the way almost until the top. We want as little air as possible, okay? And then, following this line of thought, we add some olive oil to the top. It's optional, it's tradition here in Spain, but I think it tastes very nice. Close the lids very well. And now we're going to provide a vacuum seal to the jars by boiling them. This way they will last for months and months, if not years. And for that we're going to take a large pot, place a tea towel or two in the bottom of the pot so the jars don't break while boiling. Add the jars with the tomato sauce, cover them with hot water. It is very important that it's hot water, okay? And now we're going to allow them to boil. This way this will create a vacuum seal, okay? And this will make your sauce to last for a long time, like 17 years or so. Now you carefully remove the jars from the water, place them upside down on a couple of tea towels or a towel. It cannot be in touch with a cold surface, otherwise the jars might crack and break. You cover them with a towel and allow them to cool completely, ideally for 12 hours. Now you need to check if all the lids are vacuum sealed. And the test is, you just put your finger on top and press it, and you cannot hear any noise or it cannot go down. It's supposed to be firm and not bend. And if this happens, this means that this tomato sauce should be used in the next few days, so it cannot be stored for months, like we spoke about.
Stroll downtown this evening when I heard music echo through the night. The same old songs that
I have made tomato sauce before here on the channel. It takes years and years, not years. It takes a little time to make. It's fun, it's a project, and it's a process, and I think it's fun. I used to make that with my son in New York. Every summer we used to do that, and it was fun. I love doing that. It's a nice way to get kids involved in this one as well. Kids love to play with the food mill. So I wanted to bring this to you because like I said, summer is over. I know, not for me because I live in the Canaries and here is a summer year round. Okay, which is good and bad, but it's over in most places, and a few of you guys commented, and I have been paying attention to that you only cook or you try to cook using seasonal vegetables, and sometimes I bring a recipe with tomato sauce in the winter and you're like, oh, too bad because I don't have access to tomatoes, so I cannot make my tomato sauce, or I have access but I prefer not to buy it because they're not organically grown. So here's the answer, okay? And if you're not interested in all this conversation, make it just for fun or for the taste, because it tastes amazing, like I said. You can play around, make a few different varieties, okay? So you have it ready. Mexican, you can make it, I don't know, add your touch to it. You're very creative. I know, because you leave comments on the comment section, I get jealous. I'm like, oh, how come I haven't thought about that? Because you're geniuses. All right, so this is it for today. Full recipe on my website as always, and on the description box below, because I love you. And this is it. If you make it, tag me, and don't forget to follow this channel. Make sure you still subscribe. YouTube have been acting weird lately, so make sure that you're still subscribed, okay? Thumbs up for this video. Love you. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Bloody Mary.
Tomato sauce.
We're going to make Bloody Mary for a whole year. What do you think about that?
Is that what you asked? Why are you helping?
That's why I help you today.
Good job.